So how much fun was it to throw in those conditions?
I mean, we won, so that was fun. But it is what it is. I mean, kind of joking, kind of not. But at the end of the day, like a win is fun. So, I mean, how we got there is how we got there, but we won.
Do you kind of feel like when you're going out there and throwing in that you know it's going to be a little bit of a grind, that it's just going to be different than when your arm's going to get loose real quick in the heat and everything?
Yeah, I think you kind of admit that to yourself when you show up at the park that day. That the conditions are what they are, and they definitely have an impact. They're not an excuse, but they are a reason for some things. But at the end of the day, it kind of goes back to what we say a lot, that eventually you just got to kind of will up and compete through whatever. And I thought we did a really good job of that. I thought how the outing went might have been not the greatest, or might be kind of hard on myself with how I self-evaluate, but at the end of the day, to compete was easy.
What does it seriously feel like when you're trying to grip the baseball and fingers are starting to get cold and with the temperatures the way they were?
It's a little weird. It almost feels like the ball's like frozen. Because I will say, like, warming up in the pen, for some reason it was way warmer down there. We might not have had as much wind come through, and then getting on the mound, it was a little colder. And then I think as the game went on, it just got colder and colder and colder. But I mean, we've got great stuff in the dugout to be able to keep us warm enough. And then a lot of it is just whatever you can feel that day, you can feel, and whatever that is, you kind of have to find that and just make that work.
What was the message from JK to you when he came out for that second inning visit?
He was just kind of giving me a little bit of a break. He was asking how I was feeling, seeing what we wanted to go do to that guy, and kind of saying, hey, nothing changes because of what just happened. That both of those events are in the past, those 2 walks. We're not happy about them, but we can't change, so we can't change them. So let's worry about the next pitch and let's move forward.
You're speaking about getting colder and colder, but as the middle innings warm up, you kind of warm up yourself. How are you feeling, physically, mentally, as you kind of get in that groove there?
I mean, I think it's all the same. I mean, we're going 1 inning at a time, 1 pitch at a time, and to do that, you don't really treat them as later innings or the middle innings. It's just an inning. So I think a lot of that is kind of how we approach that.
How'd you kind of just assess, where your game has been these first 2 starts, things that are going well for you and things you might be looking to improve on?
Yeah, I think it's been okay. I think it's been all right for the start. I think the results have been good, but when I look at like the process of it, I think there's definitely room to get better, and that's the goal of this part of the year. Like with how my ramp up was, this is kind of the first few weeks of like spring training, and we're going to continue to grow. So I think get back in the strike zone a lot, and we've been in it at times, but also out of it at times. And there's 4 walks on, I guess, the stat line for me that I might be a little frustrated about, because I don't think that's who I am. I think I'm a guy that's going to compete in the zone, and the walks are part of the game, but the standard that I hold myself to is higher than that. So that's something we'll continue to improve. And then I think the stuff over the next few weeks, it'll warm up. We'll kind of get back into a groove, and I think we'll see this stuff continue to grow.
Does it? I know you want to keep bases clean every time, but to get some reps with some pressured, high leverage situations early in the season, is that a good thing to get under the belt?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if where runners are, how many outs there are, really change our job. I think I kind of treat it as, regardless of where runners are, regardless of how many outs there are, my job stays the same. And that's to be a competitive strike thrower, throw competitive pitches in the zone, and then when it's time to throw pitches out of the zone, try to throw pitches out of the zone. So I think it's good because it's a feeling that you'll have that won't be foreign at some time. But at the end of the day, our job remains the same regardless of the situation we're in.